Welcome to E-SHU News. This week we've got, as usual, the game to talk about, we've got the social to talk about, but first of all, I'm your host Fred.
I'm your co-host Arthur, not missing.
Arthur, why don't you go over some of the changes we've decided to do to the format of this series?
E-SHU News from now on will obviously cover the exact same teams and the exact same leagues, however the way it's laid out is going to be different. So from now on, we'll be covering it game by game basis. So an example that you'll see is if we're covering Valorant, we'll first talk about the NSC Valorant games and then we'll talk about the University Valorant games all in one chunk.
And then we can also make sure that if you're only interested in one game, you can get all the information you need in that little snippet. So let's get into the games. For League of Legends for NSC, Sheffield Siriuses went 0-1 versus UO Otters and won 1-0 versus Portsmouth Pigeons. And Sheffield Sillies won both of their games 0-1 versus the Bad Batch and 0-1 versus Earthwick.
And next, taking a look at the University Esports League, the Sheffield Siriuses were 0-1 against the Surrey Stags, but then decided to win two more, 1-0 against XDD and 1-0 against the Cardiff Met Archers, so really good comeback there. Looking at the Sheffield Sillies, they lost 2, going 0-1 versus Out of a Manor and 0-1 versus the Ulster Unicorns, but managed greatly to claw it back 1-0 against the Oxford Owls Reincarnated.
And for Overwatch 2, for the NSC side of things, Hallam Hammers won 0-1 versus Fallowfield Fusion and 2-0 versus Essex Blades 2. Hallam Hookers won 2-0 versus Loughborough Laxatives and unfortunately lost 1-2 versus FIL. And for Hallam Hunters, they lost 0-2 versus Durham Defenders, but managed to win 2-0 versus Brighton Bears Overwatch.
For their University Esports runs for Overwatch, Hallam Hammers went 2-0 versus Strathers Green, but sadly lost 0-2 versus Cardiff Team 1. The Hallam Hookers were 2-0 versus Cardiff Team 3, so 1-up against Cardiff, taking revenge, but sadly were 0-2 versus the Warwick Wraiths.
And next we'll look at Valorant. So for NSC, not winning, won both of their games, so 13-7 versus Salford Cubs and 13-4 versus Goldsmith Guardians. The Powerpuff Girls won versus Edisum due to walkover with 1-0 because of the walkover, but unfortunately lost 6-13 versus Cull Selhack.
So looking at University Esports next for Valorant, not winning, won against John Valorant team due to walkover, so 1-0, but sadly lost to UOB Silly Cats, going 6-13. The Powerpuff Girls lost both of their games, which is unfortunate, 13-3 against Surrey Stags and 13-6 against BCU Kittens.
And over to Rocket League for NSC, Hallam Hammerheads went 0-3 versus Staffordshire Sixers A, but then won both of their games, so 3-0 versus UOS Steel Warriors and 3-1 versus Portsmouth Pythons, and they're qualified for Division 1. SHU won all 3 of their games, so 3-0 versus Chit Challengers Gold, 3-0 versus Edin Ballers, and 3-2 versus 3-2-1 Forfeit. And they're also qualified for Division 1. And Shooters won 2 of their games, 0-3 versus the Better Cardiff, 3-1 versus Newcastle Magpies, and then 3-2 versus Eboracum YSJ, and they are qualified for Division 2.
Should really be proud of the Rocket League team.
Yeah, they've done really, really well.
Fantastic. Looking at the Apex Legends team, E-SHU Apex, they scored 31 points over 4 maps and received 13 league points, which places them at 21st place with 28 points, which keeps them roughly around the same spot they were at, which is great. I want to say congratulations to all of our teams that won their games, especially the Rocket League teams, moving on to 2 teams for Div 1 and a team in Div 2. However, it does not matter whether our teams lose or not, we're right behind them supporting, and overall, all we really care about is having fun and making sure the teams are enjoying themselves. And from what we can see, it seems that they're still continuing to enjoy playing the leagues, and maybe we'll see a big turnover. So, you know, gotta keep watching. Maybe we'll see some big upsets and the underdogs coming through. Everyone loves an underdog.
They do. And now let's talk a little bit about the Halloween social that were hosted in the Esports Lab. I did not take any pictures this time around. I was watching movies. And, seeing what everyone was doing. So what can you tell us about the social, Arthur?
Okay, so well, overall, I would say it's pretty successful social. We had everyone playing some spooky themed games or horror games, so some Lethal Company, which was last time, so clearly people were enjoying that. We had some people playing Escape the Backrooms, like a free version, which was really cool. I had set up my laptop and we put on 2 movies. We had some snacks out, which was great. Everybody seemed to enjoy themselves there. We had the Switch up again, so some people played Luigi's Mansion. Some people were playing, I think it was Overcooked 2. They had like a little Halloween like event thing going on.
Oh, we also had the pumpkin painting.
Oh, that
was
is
really
true.
good,
we
really
had
good.
we had like 4 little, I don't know whether they're ceramic, I guess.
I think they were ceramic pumpkins.
Ceramic like pumpkins and bats that people painted. So we had 4 of those. So we had a little painting session. They looked very good. And yeah, I think that covers the social overall.
Yeah.
And I hope that we see some people for the social next Thursday, because moving forward we'll be hosting them on Thursdays. Make sure to take note of that and make sure to not show up on Monday because we won't be there. We are doing the league watch party for the league finals.
Oh yeah. This Saturday.
Yeah.
Get your tickets in the Discord.
In the Discord, or if you want to look through the Student Union website, you can find us there as well. It's going to be great. We're being in ad sets, and we're going to watch the League World Finals T1 versus WBG, I think.
It's T1 versus BLG.
Oh, it's BLG. That's right. I forgot. It's T1 versus BLG. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I did watch both games and I forgot. So yeah, we hope to see some people there. We have some official Riot prizes. I saw some little like minion looking like plush things, which seemed really cool.
Got those thunder sticks that you band together.
Thunder sticks. That's true. So please show up because it's going to be a really good time for anybody who is interested in watching League to just kind of get together. And whether you support T1, which I'm sure a lot of us do, or whether you support BLG and kind of want to see an upset, you should definitely come over and see because it'll be a good experience.
I think that covers this week, and going forward, the best of luck to all the teams, whether you're playing because you want to win or just because you want to have fun. I hope you have a great time. And if you like this episode of E-SHU News, please consider subscribing and maybe leave a comment of something that you would like to hear us talk about next week, and we shall do our best to do that.
And that's E-SHU News. Signing off.